Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another update of my Canadian Dividend Investing Portfolio Series. In these videos, if you don't know, I'm pretty much just documenting my journey as a Canadian dividend investor. I buy and sell all of my stocks with Wealthsimple Trade, which is a really great commission-free trading platform that you can try out if you like. I highly recommend it. I actually really enjoy it. I used another broker before, but I'm quite satisfied with Wealthsimple. And you can get some free stocks actually if you use the link in the description below to sign up and give it a go. And aside from Wealthsimple Trade, I track all of my stocks, all of my trading activity and dividends in this custom Google Sheet that I made, which I know a lot of you guys are using, which is awesome. Thank you very much for trying it out. And if you notice, actually up here, I'm on version 3.5 now, which is an improvement that I'll hopefully be releasing in a week or two, something like that. But tons of different improvements I've made, really cleaning up how the dividends are calculated and the NEO exchange and all that kind of stuff. And I'll show you that in a second. But basically, today my account is sitting around $78,700. It's been hovering around this amount this last week or two, despite me depositing more and more money and even receiving dividends, which means the value of my stocks is kind of overall is declining a little bit in the last week or two, but I'm not too worried about it because the stocks go up and down. That's just a fact. And most of the companies I hold are pretty solid, blue chip dividend paying, dividend aristocrat kind of value stocks. So I'm not too worried about that. In the long term, I'm pretty sure, everything's going to continue rising. And I take these opportunities when my stock values drop to usually just buy more of the stocks that are a little bit beat up, that are maybe below my average price. We'll get into that also in a second. So anyways, we're sitting around $78,000. Overall, up about $9,000. In my book's not bad. It's about 12.9%. In some of the previous weeks, this number has been above 10,000. So the money goes up and it goes down, really. It swings a little bit. But if it's plus or minus 1%, like individual stocks can swing more than 1% in a day, and if the whole portfolio swings more than 1% in a day, so be it. The overall average yield of the account is 3.84% right now, and my annual dividend income is about $3,020. I'm going to come back to this in the end of the video, and we're going to take a look at how much this increases after I show you what stocks I spent my $429 on. I'm going to buy some dividend stocks, and this number will increase, and we're going to come back and check that out later. And if you have been following along with the videos, you might notice that this jumped a little bit since the last video. Previously, I was always below 3,000 and now I'm above. It's because actually I have changed the calculation in the spreadsheet where we pull in the dividend. Previously, it was in version 3.4, actually, I've been using the trailing 12-month dividend. And that information was coming from Walmart, but I've actually switched back the source of the dividend information back to Yahoo Finance. I'm seeming to get a more stable connection with them, and they actually present the forward annual dividend. So the number for forward annual dividend is usually a little bit more, the trailing, not necessarily, but often it's a little bit more. So anyways, this is just for projections that basically calculates the forward, the dividend income that I can expect. And actually, it kind of makes more sense to use it as the forward annual dividend because that's kind of the amount that I expect to see in the next year. So anyways, lots of small improvements have been made throughout the sheet, but one of the ones that I'm pretty psyched on is I've actually included everything for the NEO exchange now, which as far as I know, I don't know of any other Google Sheets that are automatically supporting NEO because actually Google Finance does not support the NEO exchange. But here, if we just come in and type in another ticker, let's say like the one for MindMed or NEO, like PayPal, all of the CDR, what do you call it? The CDR things, NEO, Diz, any NEO stock that you can imagine that currently exists right now will work. And we're going to pull in, actually, you got to spell it right, MSFT. So it's going to pull in the actual name automatically and the current price, which is super cool because Google Sheets cannot do this by itself using the Google Finance formulas, but I have outsmarted Google, and I'm pretty happy to bring this update to you guys because I know a lot of you are really interested in tracking NEO exchange stocks. So pretty psyched on that. Basically, let's get back into my actual portfolio, where right now I have it sorted to be having the biggest gains at the top, the biggest winners at the top, and then the biggest losers at the bottom. Now this collection of red stocks is slowly increasing for me. It's a little bit, I don't like seeing it, but like I said, today and actually in the last few weeks or days, I've just really been buying stocks that are in the red. And so when I was looking at these ones that I wanted to pick up, pretty much just I saw the utility companies in here, Northland Power, TransAlta, and Intergex all in the red for me. So I thought, yeah, cool, I'll just add those. Northland Power and TransAlta are paying monthly dividends, so I always like increasing those companies just to boost the little bit of dividend income every month. And Interjex is just like a pure play renewable energy company that I'm pretty interested in having long term as well, so that's fine with me. And then I had a little bit left over, so I picked up some of DCM. This is one of my smallest positions, just $577. And so when they're in the red, I think, yeah, this is fine. I'm just going to add no harm to me and adding to my absolute smallest position when it's in the red. And then I also added a little bit to Bitfarms, just the remaining cash that I had left over, and really trying to drive down that average price because I unfortunately got a little too excited and bought them a little bit sooner than I would have liked to because they have dropped off a little bit. So what I do is I basically just go into Wealthsimple Trade, into the activity tab, and I just want to write down, the way that I do this is I write down the quantity that I bought and the unit price for all of the different transactions that I did in the day. And as well as I track, the deposit information and stuff like that because I made a deposit. But I want to bring that back into the Google Sheet and I take that into the respective tabs. So in the deposits tab, I already logged the deposit before I started the video, but in the transactions tab, I'm going to have to come down here and just basically scroll down to the bottom. This is a master list of all transactions that I've ever done, and I'm just going to drop them in here with the exact unit price and quantity that we just saw in Wealthsimple Trade. And once all of those are in, and I'm confident that all of the totals also match what I saw in Wealthsimple, then I know that these have added correctly, and that I haven't made any mistakes here in the totals. And the last thing to do is just pop back into the summary tab and just take a look here at how much the annual dividend income has increased. And at the beginning of the video, we were sitting around $30,020, and now we're sitting around $3,034. So that's an increase of about $14 per year in passive income, which is pretty awesome. And that's just because I bought some of those dividend stocks. And I actually, like, for example, I did buy some DCM and BITF, and those guys don't pay a dividend. So eventually later on when I go to sell those, hopefully at a gain, then whatever money I take from that sell in the future and reallocate it into dividend paying stocks, then that number will increase as well. So yeah, pretty much just the goal here is grow the portfolio as big as possible, grow the passive income from dividends as big as possible, and yeah, really enjoy kind of tracking it as well. I get kicks out of this spreadsheet, and yeah, I think I hadn't mentioned it with you guys that the improvements, version 3.5, will be available in a week or two. Anyone who already is using the spreadsheet or gets it in the next week or two before I release the update, that's totally fine. You can start playing around with it, and everyone will basically get an email from me with the latest update, and you'll be able to get it switched over pretty easily and take advantage of the Neo exchange and also some of the improvements to the dividends. They have a more stable connection and all that, and tons of other small improvements throughout the sheet that I'll probably make a video talking about. Yeah, all of that stuff. So guys, if you watch this video all the way through, thank you so much for watching. If you use the spreadsheet, thank you so much for using it. Super cool to know that other people are using this sheet to track their dividend portfolios. And guys, yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. I'll see you down in the comments and in the next video.